On tonight's episode, our main event features our world champion, Hawkeye Nikki Champion, taking on the leader of the Olympus Order, Zeus. Plus, 2 more first round matches in the tournament for the national championship for the vacant title. But first, we're cutting to a disturbing scene as Steve Freely, the King of Destruction, is kicking us off in a unique way. We've seen one of the 4 kings of USPW kick off every episode of 2022 so far, and this time it was Steve Freely's turn. But the King of Destruction did it in his own way, by attacking his rival Josh Thompson in the parking lot. Freely had his sledgehammer with him and he slammed it through Josh's gut before slamming him into a car and stuffing him inside the driver's seat. Freely was sure to smash off the door handles with the hammer, meaning Josh was trapped inside. Freely then climbed onto a forklift truck and was going to drive it into the car with the forks out at Josh's head height, but luckily referees and officials, and even a couple of wrestlers like DC Rain and Morgan Malone, came to stop him, and thank God they did. Jimmy Chipolata is 140 pounds lighter than Peter Novak, and that normally wouldn't worry him because he's known as the Giant Killer. But Novak has been on fire lately. Late last year and early this year, he's looked absolutely unstoppable, and he picked up another comfortable win here with his chokeslam. Backstage, Emily McQueen approached Eddie Howard and told him she was impressed by his speed, power and smoothness, and since she's looking to take on clients and become a full-time manager in USPW, who better than the Natural to be added to her roster? She placed an empty paper coffee cup on a nearby crate of equipment right as environmental lover Leif LeBon walked up. Leif aggressively told Emily to respect the planet or face the consequences, and Eddie told him to back off and that he'd see Leif in the ring next week. So, still to come on American Wrestling, USPW champion Hawkeye Nikki Champion battles Zeus one-on-one in our main event. Zeus, the leader of the Olympus Order, is likely to be accompanied by the tag team champions Atlas and Bash Street. And the National Championship Tournament continues with a mystery first round opponent or a debut for the amazing Jacob Jett. And speaking of the National Championship Tournament, we got some more first round action between Roger Smooth Cage and Jacksonville Jack Jackson. Cage has had a solid run in USPW, but Jackson is just getting started and the sky is the limit for the youngster from Florida. After a back and forth fight, Jackson tried to stub out a cigar that wasn't lit on Cage, but the veteran didn't know it wasn't lit, and the distraction led to an implant DDT by Jackson and a pin. Enigma was backstage and back on USPW American Wrestling again, and he told Lionel Greenwood that anybody on the roster or in the world can challenge him at any time, and he'll be proud to defend USPW and his legacy. But as he was mid-flow, big bulldozer Brandon Smith walked up. The violent veteran was respectful towards Enigma and told him that he'd be honoured to take that match one day. Enigma shook his hand as a show of mutual respect. Coming at the end of this month, Saturday, January 29th, United States Pro Wrestling is live on pay-per-view, and so far confirmed for the event, we're going to see Josh Thompson taking on Steve Freely in what is now a no disqualifications match. And the USPW World Champion Hawkeye Nikki Champion will be in tag team action in the main event, but who will Rich Money's partner be? Still plenty of matches to be fully confirmed on that list too. American Gold was stood backstage saying it's their time to become tag team champions once again when an unlikely man walked up and offered his services. The King of Clubs, Raja, told the young pair that they have all the skill in the world, but they will come undone against a team like Shaffer and Fedora if they're not careful. And certainly the mean, powerful Atlas and Bash Street are dominant champions. He offered to be in their corner for the matches, see if he can lend a hand, but Marcus English put a stop to it and told Raja that A, they don't need him since they've been to the mountaintop before, and B, they don't trust him. Raja smiled as they walked off and he mumbled that the young pair would regret that decision one day. Fast-paced and solid action from these two teams who know what they're doing out there. Hot Stuff looked to be on the rise in USPW and they scored a big win over a classy veteran duo when Buff Martinez hit LKO, which is his version of a spear, to take Black down. Big Peter Novak was stopped in his tracks backstage and we found that Rich Money and his protege Sterling Whitlock were approaching him. Money said he's been impressed by Novak's form and performances, and given his size and power, Money could use some backup like him. Novak smirked and almost seemed to roll his eyes, but Money pressed on and said that he has a young, fresh crop of business stable members and they could use a mentor, someone who's been there and done it all, especially with what's coming, and there would be a lot of cash in it for the Czechoslovakian. Novak didn't say yes, but he didn't say no either. USPW American Wrestling, only on Reverie. Next up, we got another debut ahead of the next National Championship Tournament first round match. A man from Boston who spent some time winning championships in both Canada and America and Mexico. The Demon Dutch Wilkes, who got a great reaction from the fans as he strolled out onto the stage to meet the amazing Jacob Jett, who was waiting in the ring. Another solid first round match in the National Championship Tournament. Dutch Wilkes is an interesting arrival for USPW, and he's unlike anyone else we have on the roster. A technician who looks to make his opponents tap out at every opportunity. He managed it in the end here, locking Jett in the excess force, his version of the camel clutch, and making the amazing all-rounder tap out. We took a look at the updated brackets for the National Championship Tournament. Kirk Jameson, Jack Jackson, and newcomer Dutch Wilkes have all advanced to the semi-finals now, due to take place at Stars, Stripes and Slams. But who will come out on top as Casey Valentine and Anthony Trask battle one-on-one? The two talented fighters were both in contention for a title shot at Rick Law before the former champion departed for TCW, but which one of them will qualify to take on the marksman on pay-per-view? Strong main event here. Zeus Lu used his backup well to try and take the crowd out of it. Hawkeye Nicky Champion is a dominant world champion though, and while he didn't find it tough out there for the whole match, he soon got on top and kept Zeus away from his support on the outside. Eventually, after a back and forth finish, Champion hit his Hawkeye Hammer pedigree and nobody kicks out of that. After the match, Rich Money brought his group called The Business onto the stage, but out of respect for the world champion, they stayed on the stage. Money said that he's been disappointed that Nicky Champion has accepted a tag team match at Stars, Stripes and Slams and is not putting his title on the line. He said that just because it's a tag match doesn't mean the title can't be on the line though. So he had a suggestion. They should make the match 2 versus 2. Whoever makes the fall walks away as world champion. As he said this, Running Wolf arrived in the ring behind his friend and partner for Stars, Stripes and Slams and couldn't take his eyes off Champion's belt before Hawkeye turned to face his friend and the two Native Americans stood tall to end the show. Tonight we saw an interesting exchange in the Stars, Stripes and Slams main event scene, as the world title will be on the line in the tag team match. Steve Freely tried to destroy Josh Thompson with a forklift truck, and we have two more men, Jack Jackson and Dutch Wilkes, advanced to the National Championship Tournament semi-finals. Which segment or storyline beat did you like the most? Join us next time where we'll get the reaction of Nicky Champion to hearing his friend Running Wolf could realistically walk out of Stars, Stripes and Slams with his title. Josh Thompson is likely to have something to say about Steve Freely, and the mouth-watering prospect also of Anthony Trask versus Casey Valentine, which is the pick of the first round of the National Championship Tournament. We round out the semi-finals next week as well. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode, like the video if you liked it, and get your thoughts and comments in.